Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Rigo Villa. I am one of the community managers on the Cisco Learning Network, and I'll be your host today. In this session, we are going to be covering managing your network inventory in the Catalyst Center 3.x with our speaker and presenter, Julio Guerrero. But before we get started, I wanted to share a couple of quick housekeeping notes. First, I want to let our attendees know that this session is being recorded and you'll be able to access the on-demand replay as soon as it's over today for your convenience. Next, I just want to take a brief moment to address the Q&A and poll questions for this presentation. So we will be using Slido for any and all questions during the live event. So please feel free to submit them directly through your Slido window. And then one of our amazing panelists will be ready to assist you. We are also going to be using Slido to launch poll questions throughout the presentation. So to make sure that you are ready to engage with questions or to submit your answers for those polls, you can go ahead and scan that QR code on your screen with your mobile device, or you can also log in directly through our Catalyst Center live streams page as well. We are also going to be launching a Slido survey at the end of the live stream, and we would really appreciate it if you can just lend us a minute of your time and fill it out. We always look forward to receiving your valuable feedback and comments as well. All right, so without any further delay, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today. We have Solutions Architect Julio Guerrero, who is going to be driving our session for today. Hey, Julio, how are you today? Are you ready to dive in?
Hey, hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we are ready.
All right, man. If you're ready, please go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. So, welcome everyone to our session on managing your inventory with Catalyst Center 3.1 version that is coming up for you quite soon. My name is Julio Guerrero. My name is Julio Guerrero, sorry. I'm a solutions architect with the Campus Networking CXPM team. In my experience, I've been working a lot with customers with their networks. They're very complex, they are high performing, and we have been following best practices with them to get an inventory done in a proper way. I've seen how many times with a well-managed inventory, you can reduce troubleshooting and improve your daily operations. So we will dive into this today. Today, you will learn about the device inventory, how to organize hardware by site hierarchy and roles. There are different roles that we will see on our demos for Access Distribution Core, and that will help you to automate telemetry policies. You will take a look at also on software image management to simplify upgrades by designating golden images, running your automated readiness checks on flash and memory, and upgrade your devices very easy. After that, we will check the prerequisites for onboarding. Before discovering any single device, you need to establish your site hierarchy on Catalyst Center, define your credentials that are CLI, SNMP, HTTPS, and so on, and the server settings that will allow your devices to get into your network properly, such as AAA, DHCP, and DNS. At the end, we will be able to see how you will be discovering your devices. We have discovery tool that will allow you to find your devices via IP address range, CDP, LLDP. We can also do manual add of the devices or bulk via CSV files to bring your existing devices under management. I'll take back to Rigo to ask you for the first poll question. We would like to know, what is your Catalyst Center deployment looking right now? If you are running version 2.x or below, 232, 2234, 2379, or you're already doing 3.1 as FCS. Or if you don't have any Catalyst Center installed, we would like to know.
Yeah, thank
Good
you,
to go?
Julio. Yep, good to go. The poll's already underway, and I see we've got a couple of people already with their answers here. So far, we've got 75% of the audience who said 2.3.7.9 is the Catalyst Center
Great.
they're currently running.
That's one of our recommended releases, 2379, 2710. And again, this version 3.1 will come out soon for you. Now, let's take a look on this slide. We're talking about a Catalyst Center journey map. This is more about to understand that Catalyst Center is just not a point product. It's more like a life cycle tool. We will think of three phases, day 0, day 1, and day n, where day 0 is about your discovery, doing your inventory, creating your network hierarchy, do config visibility, or if you are doing some greenfield, you can do plug and play. Day one, we will focus on network configuration for device provisioning, CLI templates, network services per device configuration, and conformance. That it's also very important. Catalyst Center will allow you to understand the config drifts, compliance and remediation, and change audits. Finally, we have on day end the lifecycle management with software image and patch updates. The device RMA to replace your device's iOS XC switch and IP device refresh, and PCerts, field notice, and EOX status of your network devices. Now we will dive into the prerequisites to onboard your network devices into Catalyst Center. There are a few things that you need to do as a pre-work when you install your Catalyst Center, start working on it. First of all, we'll be creating your site hierarchy. This is the foundation of everything for Catalyst Center. Think this as the source of truth where your equipment lives, right? We will be designing that by a global area, building, floors, structure, right? This structure is just for organization to be functional. Is where you define these settings. For example, on a building level, every device on every floor in that building inherit all the settings that we will be defining on Catalyst Center. Getting this hierarchy right is the beginning to make your automation make more powerful later on. Another important thing that we need to configure when we're setting up our Catalyst Center are the device credentials. Sorry. You will be able to create CLI, SNMP version 2 and 3 HTTP credentials on a system level. As you can see, you can add the credentials in here and add as a system, or you can also create them as a global. So after you create these credentials, you can assign them either global or site specific. These credentials will allow you to log in into your devices and start managing them. Designing the network settings for device credentials. As you can see, when you're ready to push these credentials, you already define them. You will be able to assign them to the global and apply these credentials to them. If you click and apply, these credentials will be using the specific order of operations. You need to remember that always need to update your AAA server before or your service account first. Once this is done, you will see the workflow in Catalyst Center to sync the controller. This prevents you from getting locked out from your devices during a password rotation. Some other important settings that we need to complete before onboarding our devices are the servers. So these devices need to know where the supporting services are, right? We have AAA, DHCP, DNS, NTP, even Stealthwatch you can define here, and the time zone. So these settings are critical because they are automatically pushed on your devices during the site assignment or device provisioning workflows. It ensures that any device that you bring into your network immediately integrate into your corporate identity and addressing infrastructure. Now, about telemetry. This is what transforms Catalyst Center from a management tool into an assurance tool. We will be gathering all the information from your network devices. And here you will be able to set the SNMP, syslog, and application visibility. One important tip is that whenever you do this onboarding on brownfield devices, we recommend to keep the wire endpoint data collection. As you can see in here, you need to keep it disabled initially. That prevents the controller from accidentally override your existing IP device tracking policies. So with all this information will be sent via NetFlow to our devices, to our Catalyst Center from your devices, and you will start looking on all the assurance information. So why do we need telemetry? And why we put so much effort on telling we need to gather all the telemetry from your network devices? It's because the data source of everything that we will be getting on your devices comes from here. It will help you to calculate your health scores, to check the network and client health, get your network services, view and manage issues, visibility on Wi-Fi, even 6/7 readiness, monitor power over Ethernet, your EOX insights. All these informations come from telemetry. Without telemetry, you will be flying a little bit blind. With it, a Catalyst Center can proactively tell you what is the problem before even a user can pick up the phone and report any problem on your network. And how do we push telemetry? When you go to device controllability under system settings, you will find all the information. We will be pushing SNMP credentials, network credentials, Cisco TrustSec, and all the following device settings like wire endpoint data collection, control certificates, and so on. With these, this is a choice of yours. We can see that we can push all of this during the telemetry configuration. This is all enabled by default. And with this, we will be able to gather all the information needed from your devices. Coming back on the global device credential, the default SNMP polling is 10 minutes. If you have any specific need for more frequent data, you can adjust them in the system settings. As you can see here on SNMP metrics and polling, you can check the device health. You can change those values for TCAM, fabric health, and the device health information. And this is safe to change it, increase the frequency of data requests from the controller, the catalog center into your devices, but doesn't change any other configuration on them, okay? Another prerequisite on your devices, if you already have devices running in your network as a brownfield, will be a few CLI commands that you need to know. First of all is the username with privilege 15, SNMP v2 or v3 configured. You can see the username that we have in here. We have SNMP community, and netconf is enabled for some devices such as 9Ks or 9800s wireless LAN controllers is needed. Netconf is the modern way to gather all the telemetry like PoE status, advanced wireless metrics. So make sure that this command, the netconf YANK, is configured there, and also AAA authentication is configured as we showed. And what is the workflow for device onboarding of our devices in Catalyst Center? You can see that there are various ways. You can migrate from Prime to Catalyst Center. You can use network plug and play for Greenfield. Whenever you are doing a add device, you can do either manually or bulk import. I will show that on the demo, or create a discovery job. So all these options you have, depending on your needs. If you want to get just one single device added to your network, you can add them in bulk, or you want to do like different ways of adding your devices we show, it will fit into you. A little bit on the workflows for brownfield and device configuration, brownfield and greenfield device onboarding and the configuration of your devices. For both, you will need to check the prerequisites, right? And the brownfield, you will discover your devices with a discovery task. We will add them to the inventory, assign them to a site, enable application visibility, and then provision. For Greenfield, we will leverage everything on plug and play. Plug and play will automate the day zero configuration and ensure that running the correct software version before you proceed with everything. And it will push some settings. We'll do the upgrade first, add it to inventory, enable application telemetry, and then you will be able to provision with some configuration push from a Catalyst Center. This is a little bit of the overview of our discovery tool that will allow you in a very flexible way to scan your network to look for devices to be added into the Catalyst Center. You can do that by CDP, IP address range, LDP, or CIDR. You can start from the IP address from the start to the next. If you choose IP address from the start to the end of the IP address, and this will ensure that the base data collection for assurance comes from all the devices that we can discover. Remember, you don't need to discover the access points. As long as you discover a wireless LAN controller where they have been joined before, you will get them on your inventory in Catalyst Center. You will be able to provide the credentials needed. Remember, we create a set of credentials for CLI, for SNMP, so you will be able to add them here or create job-specific. If you have any specific device that has different credentials on your network, you can create job-specific. But if all the devices on your sites have the same credentials, you can use the one that we created before. What's a manual discovery versus the add devices through the manual process? As you can see, when we're deciding between the manual or the discovery tool that we see before, This is a little bit more strict. You can get the template to upload the devices or just create a one device. You can see you have the network device with IP address, credentials, and so on. Or you can add bulk with a CSV. There's going to be this template that I will show you where you can import hundreds of devices at the same time. So we need to make sure that there are no errors on this CSV file because this minimal mismatch will create some onboarding issues. Also, if the netconf configuration is not in place correctly, you will see the management with errors state as soon as you get your device into the inventory. This is a little bit of the overview of the inventory. You can see we have the device name, we have the IP address, vendor, if there's another type of device. Because remember, we support third-party devices. You can check on the compatibility matrix which devices do support, reachability, end-of-life status, and device role. These different type of roles will ensure to that you can bundle them into types of devices that you will see on the assurance dashboard in a different way, but I also will help you to push the correct telemetry policies to them when you are working with this type of device roles. Manageability and compliance, they're also on the inventory view, and you can add a few others that we can see how to do that in a demo. About application telemetry, as you can see, this is how we get deep visibility into your devices. We will be running MBAR, so that will help us identify the applications and measure the throughput that you have from your devices. You can see in here what is the platform for iOS XE routers, 9Ks, wireless LAN controllers for iOS 9800s, and the telemetry appliance. The notes that they require MBAR, as you can see for some of them, the minimum requirements for version, and it's for application experience data collection mostly, right? You can do enable application telemetry as soon as you have discovered your device, you have onboarding assigned to site, provisioning, and everything. You can go to inventory on actions and go to telemetry and do enable application telemetry. It will tell you what is going to be pushed into that device, and then you can enable that very easy. If you are not fully comfortable with the configuration that it's pushed during the onboarding, you can always update telemetry settings. With this, well, we understand that the network teams want to total control of this, any change happens. And if we are not really happy what the cattle center sent to it, you can even go to here, disable the, well, do first configuration. And you can also do like disable device controllability if needed. This is set up by default, but turning off gives you the safety of having devices in the inventory with visibility without the controller making then any active changes until you are ready. Another really good tool is the config drift. This is one of our most popular features that we have for compliance, and it is constantly monitor the configuration and alert you if there's any change in the configuration and an intent baseline. Just imagine if you are already setting up your devices and someone goes via CLI and do some changes, I can compare those changes in this config drift. You can store up to 50 drifts locally, and we highly recommend to do SFTP server for long-term archiving. This is an essential tool to troubleshoot, see what we have changed, and well, we can even see if there was an unauthorized CLI change that we were not allowed to do that, and we can roll that back. About compliance for specific devices, we can see a device 360 view here for a 9300. We will have the network settings to identify mismatch configuration, network settings in cattle center, the end of life, end of sale announcements that we have for that device, the startup versus running configuration that we saw in compliance, the network profiles that have been assigned to them, application visibility has been enabled or not, and the software image, where we will be setting golden image versions, and it will compare if it's running this specific device family, the same version that we need, and if not, it will be out of compliance, and you will need to upgrade. Critical advisories for PCERTs and so on, they're also identified on this compliance view. About the network profile and the compliance remediation, when a device falls out of compliance, we do just There's the problem. We have the option and tools to fix that, as you can see. From the remediation screen, you can see exactly which is the intent causing this issue or violation that we have. As you can see in the CLI deviations, we have a device that we can acknowledge that, but it also will give me some CLI template best practices to change that and fix the errors that we got. Following on security compliance, you can see that as a core of the information that we got for your devices, you will get your PCERT and security advisories. So you will be able to see what is the criticality, the CVSS score, the CVE information, and also which version it's going to be fixed. So it's very important for you to run this compliance and be aware of these pieces. Remember the software life cycle. It's important for you to keep up to date to avoid these vulnerabilities that come up from time to time. About the Catalyst Center software image management, this is a tool designed to take the complexity for you out of the upgrades. So you can see that there's a full cycle here to request the software upgrade, identify the golden image, select the device, create a CR, approve, do the pre-checks and validations, select upgrade order, distribute the software that means upload the software into your devices, activate it, that means to do the upgrade, and then do some post-check validations. This is fully automated by Catalyst Center and can help you to upgrade devices as many as you need and at the same time, or you can program the upgrades with this schedule tool that we have now in these latest versions. About some tips and tricks for Swim. First of all, you need to distribute and schedule, then activate, right? Always plan to distribute first, that you are ready to have the software on your devices, and then schedule an activation during the maintenance window. You can do the upgrades post custom pre-post checks on your advantage, so you can define which is the values that you will be checking after, and then always consider an external file server to keep that for the remote location that's on the software base, right? For wireless, we will start with ISSU. AP pre-image download is in the works, and then use the rolling AP upgrades where ISSU is not available. For SMU patch management, this software image management also helps you to do the SMUs to patch fixes for PCERTs and image recommendation based on the PCERTs themselves. Let's take a look at the workflow quickly. If you go to the Sign Image repository image family, you will be able to download the image. This screenshot is a little bit different than the latest version of 3.1 that we will see in the demo. Then you will go to software, check image upgrade readiness, and then you will be able to upgrade your devices. There is a flexible device ordering to perform the activation, as you can see. In larger environments, you don't want to upgrade everything at the same time. With this latest version of Catalyst Center, it will give you the flexibility of ordering how the device is going to be upgraded in a sequence, right? For example, you may want to upgrade first your core devices one by one, but then you will be able to follow up with the other access devices, and so on. So this will be really helpful for you to organize the way that you are upgrading your devices. About software image management, the device activation order is the same. The way that you are activating them, you will be able to enable ISSU from here. You will see that the validation is confirmed, and after that, you will be able to perform the upgrade on your devices. We can also have the schedule distribution and activation when you're preparing upgrade task. Catalyst Center will allow you to do first the software distribution now or later, and the activation now or later. You can define the dates, and after that, you will follow on tasks where you will be able to see how these are prepared to be completed, and then you can manage them from the task perspective on Catalyst Center. Finally, if you need to replace a device or you don't want that, to be having that on Catalyst Center anymore, you can delete that from your inventory. So it will give you the option to clean up configuration. This is a powerful feature that attempts to strip away all the setting Catalyst Center pushed before by leaving your device much cleaner state, so you can well, reuse it, or maybe you want to swipe that device and put it back to Catalyst Center. So this is specifically important if you plan to move the device to a different site or repurpose elsewhere in the network. Now let's take a look at the demo. Just give me 1 second. Let me jump back here. Okay, let me log in back. Okay, let's give it a second. It's loading. In the meantime, we can take a look on the compatibility information. Whenever you want to know which devices are supported on a Catalyst Center, you can go to the Catalyst Center compatibility matrix, and that will show you the full information about all the devices that you can onboard on your network. You can select by application. If I just want to do just assurance, the specific release that we have, the recommended release is 2379. Device type, I want to check which switches are supported. You can see the list of the devices here, 2960s, 2960s here, all the families that are supported, and minimum versions that you will be able to get from them into the Catalyst Center. That's going to be the way that you can check your devices. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my Catalyst Center here. Sorry about this. This is a live demo that I'm trying to get it back. Okay, we have it here. Perfect. So this is the main dashboard from our new Catalyst Center version 3.1. If you see, the version I'm running here is 3.1.5. And this is the usual dashboard that we have on our versions of Catalyst Center. If you try the new home beta here, you will be able to see the dashboard that includes the routing, switching, wireless, endpoints, application information for the assurance data, all the health information from both these devices. You can see that in here, compliance and other notices for software upgrades, security, config compliance, and so on, and recent activities that we have. We can start first on the design network hierarchy, where you will be designing the infrastructure hierarchy of your network. As you can see, I have a global level, then I have the area level, another area level, and then we have a building and floors. And the floors you can define as much floors as you have, as many sites as you have on your network. You can upload the, just give me 1 second, let me get the other one. You can upload your maps and place your access points here. You will be able to get them in this type of architecture we have for the network hierarchy. After that, you will be working on your network settings, where you will be able to add your AAA server, your DHCP, DNS, image distribution servers, NTP, Stelwash, you define your time zone, even a message of the day you can define from server side. And then the device credentials, as we mentioned, I have created a few of them here, but this is the credentials that you will use to access your devices. You can see that we can create current sites, you can manage them from here, or you can add new credentials, okay? I have added HTTPS, read and write, SNMP, read and write, and my CLI credentials here, as you can see. Telemetry options that we saw, the SNMP, syslog, and application visibility, and wired endpoint data collection, we can gather also from these telemetry settings. And after you have completed that part, you will start working on the onboarding of your devices. We have the discovery tool here, as you can see. I have created many tasks before to discover devices on this Catalyst Center. If you want to add a discovery, you click on Add Discovery. It will give a name, just discover created on this date, a specific hour. I'm doing it by a range of IP address. I can just do it like this. You can do that as CIDR, CDP, or LLDP. You can add more ranges if you need, in case I would just want to do this. This device I have already discovered. You will be able to select your CLI credentials, your SNMP read and write, netconf, and the port that it's default recommended. And then you can schedule the discovery now or later. New devices only. If the device is already there, it will not do anything because it was already discovered, and you will have a summary. After that, we'll take you to a view how the discovery is completed and how it's done. For example, for wireless LAN controller, I did one, and you see reachable devices on the right. It's also one device that was discovered. Let's give it a second. Let's try to make a new one, maybe, or clone that. Or let me check if there's another one here. Let's try to rediscover this one. You can see on task that will be queued. Just give me 1 second, please. Okay, we go back to tools, discovery. We see that it was completed already. It will tell me that there was one device discovered, that it's reachable, the status is okay. It went through ICMP to check SNMP credentials, CLI credentials are good, and netconf is good. So this device should be showing now on my inventory. If I go to provision, inventory, this is the new view that you can have on this Catalyst Center 3.1. And that device should be here. It's one of my wireless LAN controllers. You see 192.168.11.154. It's reachable. It has one alert. It's managed. It's not compliant. I already have assigned this to a site. This is the version that it's running, uptime, serial number, the platform. The device role that we have in here is you can edit that from this view also if you want to move it to a different type of role depending on the needs. You can see I have some SD access configured here. We have some transit, the edge devices, the border devices. So depending on those, that's the type of role that you will be defining to them. Now, from this view, you will be able to add devices. If you want to add a device manually here, you will be able to do that with the discovery tool that we had seen before. Single device, it will ask you for some information about the device itself, so it's a serial number, product ID, and device name. Enable the SUDI authorization, and then you can add that manually. If we go back again to the inventory and click on add device, if I try to do bulk devices, you can upload your CSV file, and then you can download the file template. Let me show here quickly the template. Just 1 second, I'm trying to move that to the other screen. So this is the type of template that you will be uploading with the serial numbers, device family, name of the device, site and location that you want to put in here, the profiles, the management IP, subnet mask, gateway, VLAN ID, and interface name that you will be using. So you can fill that, and you can add 100 devices here, and that will be added to your discovery. Cattle Center after that will try to reach them and start managing them. So you can see it's a very handy way to add many devices in the same way. Or you can do discovery, will take maybe a little bit longer. So that's the way that we will be able to get devices into the inventory. If we go back, there are different actions that we can take here. First, I will show you the focus. This is the inventory focus we can see for software images. Check which devices need upgrade here, the device images, the versions that we have, and then do go to software image management. But we can start from the inventory. There are some others that you can see for provision. Check the provision status, security templates, device replacement, and refresh. From the inventory view, if I take a look on one of these devices, for example, this one is reachable, it's managed, it's okay to perform some actions. From the inventory, you can do edit device, resync the device so you can sync back the configuration into Catalyst Center, reboot the device, delete it, export to inventory, schedule maintenance or exit, and manage maintenance and manage system beacon. Then you can also do perform the software upgrade from here, provision the device to assign it to a site or provision the device itself to upgrade the settings that you are working with, and enable application telemetry. Let's take an example of enable application telemetry. It will ask me, you have chosen to enable network on this application on this switch. I can go next. I can go close this one. It will create a task for me to enable application telemetry, and I can just apply. It will start doing the checks for you. As you can see, there's task. It will be calculating devices, check the response parameters, generating CLI template, generating configurations, and then you click on deploy to fully enable the application telemetry on this transit device that we have in here. Couple of other things, as I was mentioning, you can do device replacement, switch refresh, check the compliance, or run commands. If you click on the command runner from here, let me try to do that. Just give me 1 second. Better do it from this way. You can log in without jumping into any PuTTY or any other tool for you would like to SSH into your devices and run commands from here. You can check the soft version, and it will give you outputs straight from the command runner from the devices you choose. So it's also, if you want to quickly check some commands on a device, you can do that from your Catalyst Center. Then we have software image management. Let's take a look on that. If we take this device, it will take me to the full software image management screen. I see 10 totally eligible devices, not standards image stacked, ready for update, update readiness failed, and few other states that running a start image, right? So if I go back to the overview, will give me similar information, and I can schedule image upgrade, check image status, image upgrade status, download the update readiness report, or import an image. If you go to images here, you will say that you have 3 device families. Just give me 1 second. It's global. Just 1 second, please. Okay, let it load again. Okay, it's coming. So we select back one of our devices, go to software image management. Then we check on import images. Just give me 1 second. Let's create a task name to do upgrade webinar. It should allow me to see the devices from here. You can select the devices that you want to upgrade. You click next. It will give you all the software distribution checks to validate a license with crypto check, fabric device software check, and flash check. That's okay to go for all of them. The activation checks for spanning tree check summary, CDP, interface check, validate license, same as the other ones, config register check, and startup config check. We can leave them too. And then, as I was mentioning, you can do the software distribution. It means to upload the image into your devices now or later, and the software activation just after distribution. It's completed. I can upgrade the device itself, or I can schedule for a different time if you want to do that on any maintenance window. We can click next. You can see the summary of everything that will be done during this upgrade. And after that, you can just click submit, and the upgrade will be performed for you. Coming back to the inventory, I will exit this. This is where, let me go back here. On the image repository, this is where you will be able to select the images that you have for your devices. But for some reason, let me check what is going on. It's not allowing me to show the full list of devices. I can only import image here. But whenever you click on device families, it will give you a list of the devices that you have. And after that, will be showing you which available versions you can download from Cisco.com straight into your Catalyst Center, and then start working on the upgrades. So let's go back to provision. Maybe it's my VPN. I'm sorry about this. Issues on the Catalyst Center. Let me try to jump back here. Okay. Let me try again to show you that part. Okay, we can have the 9300s, for example. I see my device families. And here you can see what are current images running on different type of devices. If they have any advisory here, you can click on the image itself and it will tell me, okay, I have these advisories. This is one of the CVEs that we have impacting this specifically. And then you can start working along with the remediation tools to upgrade your devices if you see any of these advisories impacting your network. Down here, we have all available images. If you see, we sync back with the repository of images available for this family. You can see which one is recommended or latest. You can see have some other latest in here. And very easily here, you can click on download from cisco.com, save that, it will be saved into your Catalyst Center. Remember, if you have a larger deployments and many sites far away from a Catalyst Center, well, not far away, but there, that you can get some servers of distribution servers to save those images for you closer to your sites, and that will be much faster for you to send all the upgrades to them, because remember these images sometimes they're not that small in size. You can see the upgrade of download process is going in here. Going back to software image management, we can select the devices here. You can see which one needs update, which one is running a standard image. And sorry, let me go back here quickly. You can define your golden image from this part. This you can mark as a standard. This is going to be the one following these rules to tell you which devices are good or which one requires an upgrade. So this is a really good view for you to see all your network inventory software needs. Updates, as you can see, which ones have failed, recent updates, and recent progress updates. We can have a really good view from this part too. And let's go back to the inventory. If you want to see extra fields on this table, you can go to edit the columns. Maybe I want to see the device family, the software image, let's see, provisioning status. You can have a sort of information that you can get from here. We can click on apply. And now you will see all the information that it's added here. The software image, provisioning status, it's success on all of them, or it's not provisioning. Now, let's do another example here. Let me see if there's one device that it's not assigned to any site. Okay, this one, for example. Let me see. This one has been added. Just give me 1 second, please. This one, for example, this fabric in the box. If I go to actions and then provision, I can assign device to site or provision. We will be pushing the information to our devices. If I assign to site first, we'll choose the site on my hierarchy. I can put it on the DC, for example, save, go next. Will be
Hey, everybody. Sorry, I believe our presenter here is having some technical difficulties, but we will go ahead and bring them back as soon as possible. We just thank you for your patience as we get Julio back on the stream here. And there he is. Hey, Julio, welcome back.
there you go. Thank you. So we were looking at the configuration that it's running, which one is going to be deployed for with all the information needed from Catalyst Center to start assigning this device into a site and then start managing it completely. We go back to inventory. We will select that again. Just give me 1 second. It was this fabric in a box. We go to actions, provision. You can just provision device. It will ask me this again to assign that to a site. And then whenever you already have a device added to inventory and it's been added to a site and you want to add some extra information, you can see for provisioning what it's going to be sending. It's going to be getting the network setting for AAA, DNS, syslog server. All this information will be pushed to your devices after you already assign it to a site. You can change that from here. So I think that's what we have for the demo today, guys. So thank you. We will go back to Rigo and we can start getting the Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Julio. And we do have the results for the second poll that we've launched as well. And just want to quickly share that out with the audience. So the second and final poll was, what features do you currently use? And I do see here that templates is the top answer with 64% of the vote. And then we've also got swim with 55%, PNP with 45, and then we got none of the above with 27. And then lastly, we got RBAC with 9% of the vote from our participants here. Any thoughts on these results, Julio?
No, that's amazing. I'm very glad that you're using most of the features. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, as Julio mentioned, we are going to be taking a few brief moments to address the Q&A from our audience. So let's see what we've got here. So do have a couple of questions for you here, Julio. The first question here from one of our viewers is, for the security advisory compliance information, is this information available in an air gap deployment on Cat C with the latest MRE updates?
You should be able to get those upgrades via the MREs, yes, but you need to keep those up to date. I mean, since it's an air gap deployment, we need to keep that updated from the outside, and that should be the way, yes.
Awesome, thank you. Another question that I see here is there a way to set the IPDT policy for Glean/Guard? Cat 9K default changed from Glean to Guard and created issues. Any guidance you can provide there?
I need to double check about that one, but I will. If you can send that to me, we can send back to the customer. But yeah, definitely, we'll need to check that out.
Sure, sure. We'll definitely we'll address that offline here for our viewer. Another question that I have here is, what is a recommended method for discovering a wireless LAN controller, and how are access points added to the inventory?
Well, as you can see, we saw in the demo, you need to do the management port with a wireless LAN controller. As long as the access points have been discovered by the WLC, they will get into the inventory straightforward to the catalyst center. So that should be the way. Remember to have a netconf enabled if you're discovering wireless LAN controllers 9800s.
Perfect, thank you. Next question is, which specific CLI privilege level and protocols are required for Catalyst Center to successfully manage a network device?
Yeah, remember, we need to have that enabled SSH or Telnet login with exec mode level 15. That would be the requirement. Additionally, you can use SNMP, read and write credentials. And for 9Ks and 9800s, you need to enable netconf.
Perfect. Thank you, Julio. And I do see that we have two additional questions here before we wrap up. And the next question is there a recommended best practice workflow when performing a software upgrade using Swim?
Yes, I think the best option is to distribute or upload the images to all your devices and then activate that. You can plan the sequence that there are going to be devices. Maybe you can go first to your core devices, then distribution their access devices. So the main rule for me is distribute and then activate later.
Perfect. Thank you, Julio. And final question for you is, what are the primary options available for onboarding existing brownfield devices versus brand new greenfield devices?
Well, for brownfield, as long as they comply to the prerequisites, we can go with the discovery tool and scan them via IP address range, CDP or LDP. And for bulk manual add, you can use the CSV files. For Greenfield, we always do recommend to go to Plug and Play. Maybe we can plan one session for you so you can understand how is the workflow for Plug and Play. That will ease a lot of your life by onboarding your devices with just a few things to be added on them, or the quick discovery that we do via PMP and add them to Cattle Center.
Excellent. Appreciate those answers, Julio. I think that takes care of the outstanding questions that we have. So thank you for that. And we'll go ahead and just wrap up. But before we do, Julio, do you have any closing comments for our audience today?
Well, I appreciate the time that you put in this session. I hope you like it, and we will see you soon on the next one.
Excellent. Thank you, Julio. So I just want to thank you for speaking about this topic with our audience today. I hope that everyone found great value in the information and resources that were shared here today. I would also like to extend a big thank you to our panelists for lending a hand with the questions throughout the event. We really appreciate it. And for our attendees, if you do have any additional questions or would like to continue the conversation about today's topic, we do encourage you to participate in our online post-event discussion. The link is posted in the Slido resources for you. You'll find it on the left-hand side of your Slido window. Um, and then just one other reminder that we've launched a short survey in Slido, and we would be so grateful if you can just lend us a minute of your time to complete it and let us know how you like today's presentation. We always look forward to receiving your valuable feedback and comments. And for those that are interested in revisiting this session, the playback of this live stream is available immediately, and the recording is going to be available on demand for viewing on the Cisco Learning Network within 5 business days after today. So feel free to check it out if you need to revisit or if you just want to catch up on the content that was shared here today. Thanks again to our presenter Julio, to our panelists, and to all of our attendees for joining us here live. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time on the Cisco Learning Network. Thanks, everybody.